What are you doing, Jacob?
What is happening here, dude?
What a dumb.
He yells at us to hurry up, and now we get to watch him change his clothes.
Hurry up, quit talking about this.
Yeah,
So I gotta pick my nose and
don't
change my
talk about
shoes.
things. I know you can hear us, dong dong.
Idiots. All right, let's do this.
You are. Oh, wait. No, I have to go change my socks.
Hold on. I need a new pair of underwear. I'll be back in 5.
Reiterate.
But
my
make
first
sure you
statement.
don't talk about anything while I'm gone.
Idiots.
You are listening to the Alpha BassCast with Jake Boomer, Bryant Smith, and Beau Fletcher.
Ring us in, Jacob.
Start off 2026 with an attempt to be somewhat a little bit more structured. Like Beau's laughing at me. Like it's already going to fall apart. My thought was to have a little bit of structure to introduce what we're going to talk about in the show a little bit so that we don't have like 15 minutes of us yarding off about stupid stuff and people just clicking off. The 9 viewers that we get click off and don't want to listen to what we're talking about because we don't talk about nothing for at least 20 minutes. Is that okay with you guys?
I kind of feel like your attempt at this is like buying the wheelchair for the 2-legged dog.
Look, I even got notes. Engineers take notes. See that?
Does this mean I'm an engineer?
No.
I don't see anything. It's a blank piece of paper.
It's not. Look.
He wrote
There's
his
notes.
name on it.
I got my name.
He's holding it up too
Yeah.
close to the screen to even see it.
I think I read "I like fishing"
Yeah.
with
He's
a
misspelled
backwards
fishing.
S.
Watch out for the drool spot on the paper, though. It'll get you.
All right, to start off 2026, the first show of the new year, we're going to be going into a couple different things. One is we want to talk about the schedule, the BAM schedule, and any other tournaments that are really important to the group. The second thing we're going to go into is we're going to have a special guest to go through the schedule with us. Kind of a legend, or will be a legend soon if he isn't already. And then a couple quick news things that I think are notable to talk about. Are you guys okay with that?
Boy.
News
Number
and
one.
notes.
Newsflash.
Number one news thing. My good friend Brandon Polinick got voted to be the something president. He took John Cruz's job, correct? So tell us what that means.
The Elite Series anglers all have gotten together. We did this, I think it was the off season before last season. So 2024, ended 2024, started 2025. We all got together and started kind of a quasi-union, whatever you want to call it, a group. It's called the ABP. And it's just, I still don't know.
I think Beau has an idea what the P is, or the B.
Can't say it here.
All right.
Anyway.
It ends with itching.
Starts with a B.
Yes.
A, and then it ends with itching.
Anyway, it was it's our attempt at kind of having our voices heard. There was
Are you
a
sure
large...
it's called ABP? Because I read it's just called the Elite Anglers Advisory Board, which would be EA.
No, it's called ABP. Something like that.
Advisory
That's what
Board.
It says on my group email thread.
Advisory Board of People.
Association.
Anyway, it's just a way that we can all kind of voice our concerns as one voice. There's 100 different anglers, and a lot of times you get a lot of differing of opinions, but we get topics we want to discuss. We discuss them, we vote on things, and then we bring them to Bass if we want changes. It is still up to Bass's discretion, but Bass has been working very well with it, with the group, and I think it's something that's going to be good long term, to where both sides are happy, both sides are heard, and we shouldn't get our way on everything, but there are some things that definitely needed to be talked about, discussed, and brought up, and it's cool that Bass is willing to listen to us as a group, and now our friend Brandon is herding the group of cats, basically, in the ABP.
Anglers
the president.
Board of Professionals.
Thank you.
I liked mine better.
Well, yeah, but that's not what it is. It's the Anglers Board of Professionals.
So what we're saying is Polinick has gotten into politics.
Boy.
I warned him. I said, you're going to see
politics?
you're going to see sides of people that you didn't see before when you were just their friend.
Come on. You can't give that one to me?
No.
You took a shot.
So
You took a shot.
since we're trying to be more
dad
structured.
joke of the day.
Well, but hold on. So, I mean, don't you, I mean, you know him best in this group, Jake.
Mhm.
Doesn't he seem like, I mean, I only know him as a personality through his brand. He seems like the perfect guy for the job.
Yeah. I mean, on the cover of this, like straight up, I told him don't do it.
I know.
But it was too late.
I know what you would have told him to do, but as far as like, he seems like he's probably going to be the most earnest and stand-up representative for something like this.
I
No?
100% agree that there's probably not a better guy, but I promise it's going to come at a cost.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be sides of friendships that are going to be lost because people are, I mean, people, this is a professional sport. People have their way of doing things and if you, I mean, it is the greatest form of manipulation, right? Use your friend to get what you want. And so he's going to see sides of people that I don't think he thought he never would have been experienced before. I think it's the hard part of stuff, but do I think it's the best thing for bass and the sport and all that stuff? Yeah, I think he's probably really good at it. I just hope it doesn't take a toll on him, but that's just me. I don't know. I mean, somebody's got to do it. It's the right guy to do it, I guess.
Yeah.
He is.
He seems like a tough guy.
John Cruz did an incredible job organizing everything, always meeting with Bass, relaying what the group wanted, what the group was asking for. And I mean, I felt bad. I did vote for Brandon.
You're supposed to be his friend.
Yeah, I felt bad for voting for him. But when he's just the guy that's good at everything, he's very good at seeing both sides of an argument. He is a really good person, probably the best fit for that job. But I did feel bad because it's not going to be an easy job. Talking to bass fishermen is got to be the worst thing you could possibly do, especially at that level.
I would have voted for you.
I would have quit.
And I wouldn't have felt bad about it.
Yeah. Everybody would have got a bag of mayonnaise sandwiches every morning for blast off.
Here you go, guys. Here's your mayonnaise. You got enough mayonnaise on your sandwich this morning? Here's some. I got a squirt bottle. You need some?
Just to end the Polinick conversation, the one cool thing about him that a lot of his peers probably don't know is he was an all-state wrestler. So if it gets down into like a bloodbath, I want to see him put a couple of these guys in the chicken wing or something. You know what I mean? Just like, oh, yeah, I don't really agree with your politics. And then all of a sudden you can't talk, right?
Next thing you know, he does a little cow catcher on you. You're on your back. You don't know what's going on. Get some.
Other news. I think, to be honest with you, I'm ready to bring in our guest. I think it's kind of cool that we got him because all this other stuff, I kind of want his opinion because I've heard your guys' opinion so many times. So what do you guys think if we just jump the list, grab the guest, get his commentary, get his perspective since he represents a whole state of pro fishing? Or you guys want to make him wait?
No, let's have the sighting.
He's probably watching like cartoons.
He's my favorite angler from Montana. Did you know that?
Oh, you just gave it away. What's up, Jason Crone?
Hey, I'm on. What's up?
And you figured it out without your technical support representative.
Boy, yeah, I can barely do anything out of anybody that how much my wife helps me. We figured it out though.
Yeah, it's just low and slow, man. You just take it slow. Right on.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do your introduction. So for the people that might be watching this podcast that don't know the Cronester, he is the only professional touring angler in the world from Montana.
That's a heck of a title.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Seriously.
You should probably get
You represent a whole state, and it's not a small one. It's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
That is a
big state. Yeah. No, I'm proud to do it. We'll work on some more guys to come represent with me. We're working on it.
You put him in the headlock?
Yeah. Oh yeah. If I have to, we can get the redhead out,
Ooh.
So
speaking of all-state wrestlers, I think Jason was a wrestler as well. So, like, you know, if we need a couple more co-anglers, you just wrangle them up and throw them in the back of your truck, right? Just haul them out.
Yep.
Hog
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. There'll be more coming with for sure. But yeah, we'll wrestling is part of the background, I guess.
Boy. Well, good. When
How
people
big
are on
is
your
that?
spot, go ahead. When people are on your spot, they should know this, right? He's redheaded
How
too.
big is what?
Jason has probably the best descriptor of people he doesn't like. And if he sees you on his spot and he says you have a punchable face, you might
Yep.
want to leave.
Yeah.
I'd be out.
I heard that
I'm
before
gone.
too. It's awesome.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's my favorite line.
There's
of
been
his.
times where, there's been times where I was willing to use my platform for something else, you know, of the old boat, but you know, not very often.
We
Oh,
could
I
bust
love
out a
it.
wrestling mat. Lays it on the deck.
Yeah, getting too old. Them wrestling moves, it don't matter what you do, you're going to be sore and it's going to hurt. So
Mhm.
I don't got 'em.
Sometimes worth it.
So, did you get Crony's stats for the year, Bryant? His first
I
year
got
on
'em.
tour.
Got
All
him.
right, this is
Well, not
pretty
his first
impressive.
tour. I couldn't find the first year, but I found this year's, which are equally as
All right,
impressive.
fine.
This year is his first year. Last year was
I
his
was
first
say,
year
that's why you couldn't find him.
On the
Yeah.
Pro Tour?
and
Yep.
everything. Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
2
Cold
top
turkey.
10s, 2 top 20s,
Boof.
and a 28th.
Boof. Do you?
Make it the
Almost won
championship.
Angler of the Year.
Almost won Angler of the Year. Made the championship. 2 top 10s.
Is that 5 checks?
Won 2
That's
checks.
5 checks.
2 checks. But then you go to his Pro-Am stats, and he has pretty much a mirror image of that on the Pro-Am side.
What do you mean
And
2 checks?
Well, that's what the BAM website says. Well, 13th, that would have a check too.
Yeah. 3 checks. He got 3 out of
3
4 checks in the elite. In the
3 out of 4 in the Super
In the
60. But
regular.
didn't you fish Pro-Ams too?
Yeah, he fished the
Mm,
Pro-Ams.
yep.
He got 2 checks there.
Yeah.
And one at Pedro,
3
one at
checks.
Potholes. He's consistent.
So that's 5 checks.
How many of those lakes, Jason, had you seen before?
Columbia, but not that bottom. I think that's the Delta.
Have you
That
been
was a
to
championship?
Had you been to Potholes?
And nope. I'd been to Potholes for about 2 hours, like 6 years ago.
We won't count that.
After
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Yeah,
That's plenty
There
of
was
time.
nothing
You'd
there.
had it figured out.
yeah. But no,
So
no,
you had-
Mojave, never
you
seen
had-
it, you know.
Yeah. You'd only been to the Delta and Clear Lake in the Columbia River, but the upper pool.
Which means he hasn't been there because it's
Yeah.
not the same.
That's
Better
crazy.
question. What lakes in Montana were anything like the lakes you fished this year? I mean, like, you had to have some correlation, right? Like, oh, I could relay that to Flathead Reservoir.
In Montana, you got Knox Reservoir, which is God, what is that most like? Ton full of weeds and stuff. So, I mean,
Coeur d'Alene.
potholes, but potholes is so, Coeur d'Alene for sure. But as far as being on the tour, what we fished, I mean, Pedro never, that didn't have any weeds or anything like that. So there isn't a lot in Montana. Montana's got a lot of weed structure in it. So I can't really think of what
I didn't think
correlates a lot with it.
I didn't think you would. It was a joke. I know there's nothing in
Okay.
Montana. I also know that you've made like every FLW championship, like probably the last 10 years. You're like when I first started traveling with you, that it's a no, we travel together now. You're also the trailer tire and losingest freaking person I've ever met. So like you've traveled across the country like 100 times.
It's
Yeah.
about the only
yeah.
reason to keep Jake around.
You should tell the
I
one
mean,
about
is it bad roads in Montana? Like, is it like, like Bryant talks about going through Oklahoma? Like, are you just destroying your trailer just getting out of the state?
No, it's not the state. No, it's actually there's far other states like driving the interstate in New Mexico or down in Louisiana. But from Montana to Louisiana, that's a heavy pull on just your bearings, But Montana they got good roads, kind of. It's just miles, lots of miles and fast miles,
Yeah. How many miles does it take you just to get to the West Coast to start hitting some of these lakes? Like, are you, 8 to 10 hours? How long does it take you to get to old Boomer's house? Because I think that's usually your first stop, isn't it?
Yeah, Boomer's where I link up, and either I'm in front of the Dodge or the Dodge is in front of me. What is it, Boomer? 3.5 to 4
That's not
over
too bad.
to. The worst part is my house to Boomer's. Once you get there, it's a lot better, just because I'm going over 2 really bad hardcore passes. So those are the ones that can be jeopardizing when there's times where it's not too fun, but keep good tires on, and it's fine so far. But it's mostly, even one of the championships I was headed to a couple years ago, it was another person that wiped out my boat trailer. A road hunter pulled out on the highway with their side by side, and there went my wheels and axles, and I missed the whole championship.
Yeah, the better story
We all
is the
have the
one.
stories.
The best story is like after you'd already lost like 2 trailer tires hanging out with me, then you went to a championship and you lost one in the middle of the night and ended up on somebody's. You should tell that story. That's the best.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it was off ramp, came onto a different interstate, and someone flashed their lights on me that down the road, my wheel, and he said it headed right towards a guy's porch, and we're 30 minutes from Table Rock. So I'm like, oh, and I thought about just leaving it, looked at the house, and it was a house by an off ramp. It didn't look like the best area, but got out of my truck. And pretty dark out, but I headed towards the end. Sure as heck, my wheel was sitting on his front step, so I just took off running, grabbed my wheel, and it looked like I was stealing, but I ran like heck and threw it in the back of my truck and got out of there. Got out of that danger zone, but I got my wheel, So anyhow, but that's
Bass
happened
fishing, we are
multiple
living
times.
the dream, boys.
Boy, yeah,
Living the
yeah.
dream.
Yeah, it's the hardest part is getting there and getting home sometimes.
Cameron Carber, who is another Super 60 angler, called me the other day and he was telling me about his Delta Championship. And we were all there at the champion. I remember seeing him in the morning and then never saw him again. I'm like, that's so weird. Where did he go? Like, he never weighed in, nothing. He broke his drive shaft 3 miles down the river at the Delta. And he said, the only reason I made it back on the trolling motor, because remember the wind was blowing really hard and blowing away from Big Break. And he's like, the only reason I made it back was the tide was going out and I could troll and motor over the waves, but his drive shaft was broke. I said, man, this sport's hard on stuff. He goes, that's not the worst part. My truck broke down in the parking lot. Like, he flew home without his truck and his boat, neither one of them working. He just said to heck with it and got on a plane and went home. Came back a month later and got all of his stuff. Yeah, this sport's hard on a guy.
Mm-hmm.
But Jason has turned a new quarter. We did a whole season last year and he kept all 4 trailer tires on. I think so. Whole season.
Yeah.
I like it.
I replaced everything, all the way down to hubs and everything. So it was good for a year. I knew that.
I got a Tupperware in the back of my truck, like a container with 4 gallons of red and tacky just for Jason, just in case.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Red and
That's
tacky.
fact.
All right, so we got the Montuckian Super 60 Pro Angler. If you're willing to jump on and just throw in your opinions on all this stuff, and how you kind of went through it, we're going to go through the 2026 schedule. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
What's
I am-
You
good?
want Pro-Ams or just Super 60?
Let's.
we're doing-
What do you guys think?
I think we should talk about it all.
Are you doing the Pro-Ams, Jason?
Yeah. I'm doing, 4 of them. 4 of the 6. Shasta, Moses, Potholes, Columbia River. And if
Start there.
I'm struggling, we'll go to Don Pedro, because Mark made it. You can still work on points if you had to for the travelers. Right.
But you wouldn't do that. Would you have to skip the Delta?
Yeah, the Delta, I can skip it. And so Pedro at the end would be a
So I haven't asked Mark this.
last kick.
If you fish 5, does he let you throw out your lowest point for travelers?
Kind of think he did last year. Somebody's gonna have to do a rule check. We're gonna need an ABP or PBA
On it.
LMB, the
Mm-hmm.
fact checker.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I went to Pedro last year because of the Travelers for the same reason. I wanted to make the no entry fee championship. One of the notes I got here, since I do have my notepad, is to talk about the perks of this season
Me
and
too.
why. Oh,
You're
it's
not
a
special.
notepad. Scribbled on a piece of paper.
What do you call a notepad? What is your
I think
definition?
people should. I think it'd be a good viral video to just record you writing. Because aren't you left-handed too? Like
Well,
scribbling your, like just
Kinda
play
like
it over and
this.
over again on a short. Never mind.
you're an idiot.
Anyways, talk about the. It's been a while since I got to make fun of you. Video. Jason, Bryant and I stayed together at the Clear Lake Championship. And that was like, I think a lot of the time Crony was looking around going, these guys are friends? Like the question mark in his head. Because there was a lot of ding dong, idiot, gay dumbass. Like there was all of this. But that's the means in which we communicate. It's our vernacular.
Terms of
His other
endearment.
question was, his other question was, is why did I ever agree to stay in a place with these two men in the first place?
He was trying to find a way out.
He was
Yeah,
I could
calling
tell.
hotels.
never be back again. Okay, so let's get to this.
All right, we're on it.
So,
Number
Hey.
one.
Wait. Before you do that, what are the perks?
yeah,
Come on.
I
Okay.
want to talk about some cool things first.
All right, go for it.
So this is BAM's first attempt to have a true Northwest only swing. Last year you had to fish the, what do you call it, like the joint qualifier or whatever. You had to go fish Shasta to either go to the Northwest or go to the West Coast swing. So this year, this will be an interesting test to see what happens with the Northwest guys. They're going to show up. We've got Moses Lake, Potholes, River. You can fish those three, not leave the Northwest and qualify for the championship. I think there's some top qualifiers in there. Go to the Pro Tour, get an invite. Am I correct, Boomer?
Yeah. 16 guys from that Angler of the Year race will go to the championship. 5
And
guys.
if we're talking about perks, this is really neat. So 3 boats are be given away in the Northwest this year.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if you combine that with Northwest Bass, I was talking with Willie Nelson about this at Nixon's, and he thinks that this is the first time in the history of organized bass fishing in the Northwest that this many boats are being given away in a year between Northwest Bass and BAM being up here. And if I'm not mistaken, it's 3, 4, it's 5 or 6 opportunities to win a boat up here.
5.
this year?
ABA has one too. Yep.
So, no, that would be 6 because Nixon's has 2. So, yeah. So it's 6 total chances to win a boat in the Northwest this year, which is kind of I think it's a big deal.
Yeah. I think you guys should be sharpening your hooks right now, the Northwest guys. You know what I mean?
You're one of them.
Relining, re-roping your rods because, I mean, we finally got us the only downside is I'm going to invite Crony. So there's one check gone.
He can stay home.
How about that?
I like it though, because if somebody's on a spot him and I want to share and they have a punchable face,
You're good to go.
we're good. We're fishing there.
Send it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if there's much rules about punchable faces and yay or nay. So I think it's a go ahead.
I just read the
it's a green
entire
light.
rules. There is nothing that actually quotes punchable face. So I think
But
you're good.
I think that guy's got a punchable face, he says.
There's no intimidation rules. There's no nothing. You're good.
The best in the whole year was we were all kind of working together trying to solve potholes, the pro-am at potholes. And there's dunes for you guys that haven't fished potholes. There's dunes. It's a ton of fishable water, but you're really not that far away from anybody. And so I called Jason to check on him. Well, Jason's like 3 dunes away, but you have by far the longest carrying voice in the history of humans. And so I called, the phone's ringing and I hear, wow. But I didn't hear it through the phone.
You got an echo.
Came over the dune. Then I hear it in my phone. And I say, well, how's it going? And you start telling me, I'm on it, man. I'm in a great area. But like every guy in the area is looking over at your dune. I'm like, Crony, hang up. Noah Witten traveled with us too. He said the same thing. He's like, if you call Crony, you might as well just ask him where he's at and then pull up next to him.
Yeah.
I don't know, they're really eating a jig over here.
Yeah.
See you there.
A deep, punctual, clear voice. That's for sure.
Got to get your point across.
My daughter could tell when I'm in the stands. That's for sure. Cheering her on, So poor little thing, it's only going to go worse for her.
Are you embarrassing her when she's playing?
Not too bad yet. She's 10, but when she gets older, that's what dads are for. So
yeah, I agree.
And
Yep.
then
watch a lot of basketball in the Boomer household.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is how I think we should do this.
All right, do it.
So we established boats are being given away. Aluminum Vexus boats, correct? All 6 Pro-Ams. I want to bring up one thing real quick that I don't know if anyone realized. Hold on, I got to pull it up, so bear with me. What I was going to say is we should go through it we should go through all the BAM events on the calendar, and everyone can say a thing or two about what they, we get Crony's opinion on every little event that is coming up. But did you guys see what the co-anglers are fishing for this year? Did anybody see this? Do you remember it off the top of your head? I'm trying to find it quickly.
Yeah,
and it's
first place at Shasta will be like $7,500 on a $400.
No. That is not what I'm talking about. I am talking about the
Angler of the year.
Angler of the year. Here it is. Let me. I'm going to pull it up here. This is pretty awesome. So, oh my gosh, where is it? So, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to keep. Here it is. Okay, so co-anglers. The first place co-angler in AOI points in both divisions. So the Northwest Division and the West Coast Division. First place co-angler in AOI points wins a paid entry into the BAM Classic Championship. So as a co-angler,
they're going to the pro.
Yes, you get you get a free entry to fish for potentially $100,000 as a co-angler. It doesn't end there. So you get the paid berth into the BAM Classic, competing as a pro. You also get your 2027 season entry fee paid for. And you can choose whether you want to do it as a pro or a co. So if you're a co-angler, and you are thinking, man, I think I'm on the fence here, I'm thinking I'll do this. You take first place AOI, your next season's paid for as a pro, and you get to fish the $250,000 BAM Classic. And he's throwing in $1,000 for you too.
Dang, I'm signing up as a co-angler.
Dude, we should do the Western Swing as co-anglers.
And if you get a second or third place AOI points, you received a paid entry fee into the 2027 season, either as a pro or a co. So top 3 co-anglers, AOI points in each the West and the Northwest Division, gets their next season paid for, whether they want to get on the front or back of the boat.
Dude, that's awesome. Let's do the Western Swing as co-anglers. Maybe you could draw like Jason Bradshaw. Could you imagine?
I think I'm going to. You're right. That's
stuck
brilliant.
With us.
He would.
Poor
No.
Jason. He'd be like, "No,
I'm not going.
You go home.
I'm not going."
He's like, I'm done with this.
Or if,
but that's come on, like no, like all joking aside, that's huge.
Yeah, I agree. That's crazy because if you think about it, if you win it, you get $10,000 in entry fees the next year. You get to go to the Super 60 for free. On top of the fact that if you win it, you probably cashed a bunch of checks. Yeah. Oh,
no, you get pro-am. So it's you get $4,000. Like, so you get basically what, $3,000 of entry fees covered. Plus the entry fee into the championship is what, $2,500?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's $5,500 and $1,000 cash. Doesn't suck.
Big incentive. Yeah.
So I know that there was a lot of griping when Mark decided to go to a classic that was going to be pro only. I know there was a lot of co-anglers that felt like they didn't have a championship that they got to fish for. This is way cooler, in my opinion.
Yeah.
This is way cooler.
It's going to make a really competitive group of co-anglers, for sure.
Yeah.
Guys are going to get in. They're going to have their... I mean, they already are. They get in your boat and they're ready to roll. So
Mhm. Yep.
super cool. Other perks before we get into locations? Jason, you got any perks? What are you fishing for this season? What goal do you have? What's your main goal?
My main goal, well, I wouldn't mind a W for sure in any of the events, any of them.
Big time. Agreed.
But I mean, that's all of us. But it's always just to also be consistent and make it to the championship. Always, it makes it fun. So
Yeah,
a
I say
W,
that
but
I agree. I was just going to say that I heard the championship this year. I've only heard rumors. It's going to be like super cool. Like dinner with all the anglers, angler of the year speech, like something you're going to want to be at. I want to be there.
$100,000.
$100,000 is kind of hard to turn down. Yeah. That's right. I'll fly mama down there tell her that I took her on a date. Bunch of dudes.
It's a free date. Good one.
It's a free date to anglers.
Honey, I'm
That's
taking you to
good.
dinner.
That's right, in
good.
California.
We're going to sit at a table with a bunch of dudes and talk fishing. It's going to be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Maybe I won't tell her.
Waiter, keep the wine coming, please.
Yeah.
Buy the bottle.
All right. So, Jason, is a W more important than the championship qualification?
Well, that's a tough one. Gosh, I mean, a W is huge because that's getting that off your back.
Well, that's a
right?
dumb question, Jake.
Mm-hmm. I was going
Because
to
if
let
you
it
won,
fly.
you
Guess
would
what?
be in the championship.
Make it.
So
You're right.
Unbelievable.
I was going to let it ride, man.
nope.
But, to Jake's defense, maybe he's like, are you going to just kind of roll the points to get there, or do you want to just swing for the fences every time, knowing you may lose it all? Right?
Don't
That's what
stick
you
up
meant,
for him.
right, Jake?
Well,
come on,
more
one.
what I was
Give him
going to
one.
say
I'll
was
give him
a
one.
very famous angler, and I won't mention any names, told me one time that you can't win a championship if you're not fishing in that championship. And so that's always kind of been I don't know if that keeps you fishing any different on the water. I'm not sure. But the last perk I think we should talk about before we get into all these lakes for anybody thinking about it is we're all Pro Tour anglers on this podcast. We get Jason's feedback because Jason was fishing FLW. You qualified every year for the championship. Last year was your first year of I'm out of the FLW. Well, won the FLW left you. But you had a lot of choices. You had a lot of opportunity. You could have fished the invitationals because you got an invite because you were in the top 10. Like points wise, you could have gone anywhere you wanted to go before you chose the Super 60. Now that we're all in there, the other perk none of us can actually speak to, unless we fall out, is qualifying for the Pro Tour. And that is, before we get into locations, I mean, the Pro Tour, in my opinion, is dope because
Is
it's
that a
90%
technical
payback.
term?
Yeah.
Mm.
Because of the 90% payback and because of the level of competition, which this year I think is going to be significantly higher than last year.
More people, too.
More people. A couple hammers have come over. I think it's going to be tough. Guys like Jason just show up and cash a check every time. Bryant wins them on accident. Oh, there's some water there. 30 pounds. So,
There was water there. You are right. There's definitely water there.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's the tour. That's if I was saying that I was trying to make the Pro Tour, I would be picking one of the regions. I think one of the things that's really cool about a lot of guys get caught up in travel costs because it's really expensive on the West Coast compared to everywhere else. The cool thing about having a Northwest swing is you don't have to do an 11 or 12-hour drive, right? If you want to, right?
Yeah, that's a fact.
You're the farthest. How far are you from Potholes?
I kind of have it wrote down here. Potholes is 5.5, Moses is 5, and Columbia River is 6. So all of them are in my backyard compared to.
Damn, you're not close to anything.
I mean,
no. As a matter of fact, it's funny because Jake, as you mentioned the FLWs, how Jason, you got invited to the invitationals. You're actually that much closer to those events than all of us are. And for as much as you have to drive anyways, I mean, yeah, it's still that way more, but you're actually quite a bit closer than we all are. Like I think as far as travel is concerned, I'm sure with some of those, it's it's not that much worse than having to go to Arizona or down to California.
Yeah, some of them weren't too bad, but Douglas Lake, All American. I mean, when you look at that, your phone and it says 1 day, 9 hours. That's a lot of XM radio, a lot of podcast. Well, podcasts weren't really out then at that point, but in Kentucky Lake,
That's a lot of
Pickwick a
listening for
couple times.
your tires to fall off.
Yeah, and that's the thing, wheels fall off, but usually at night. So I just wake up or get there and go, oh, I'm missing one. We're three-wheeling, So get the mechanics gloves out, and I mean, I've been in Sturgis on my back, changing the transfer pump on my, covered in diesel, and here we go.
Living the
So
dream,
it's
baby.
part of it, but it's worth it. Yeah, it is living the dream, So, but
This is the best.
it's
I got
pretty easy to do.
I got a Jason Crone story. It was from 2 years ago, and he had his old white Ford, and it wasn't old, but we're loading everybody's boats after like the second day of practice before Shasta, and the ramp, we're out of Packers, and the ramp was like a half mile long, right? So I loaded his boat, and I'm sitting in the boat, and everybody's trying to get their boat out before dark. And Jay's like halfway up the ramp, and I'm in the boat, and just the truck dies. And I'm like, oh man, quit screwing around. Jay sticks his head out the window. That wasn't me. Like, here we go. That was the biggest debacle. That truck weekend, Jason borrowed 3 different pickups. He had it in. Like, his truck he'd be screaming down the freeway and just randomly shut off. Like, he was out. That wasn't me.
It was devastating, that was even when I made it all the way home after all the mechanic, all the work in a snowstorm, 80 miles from home, my truck at 60 miles an hour just went dark on me, but it fired back up. But I knew I was bound. I was on a roll for a while. So when it hits hard. So, and that truck was gone right after that. And we replaced it, and just gotta, like I tell all the high school kids and everybody, work really, really hard to do this. You got to work really hard, and makes it fun though.
Yeah. I think that
keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
The glamour goes away real quick when you're on the side of the road. All right, so we've digressed a little bit. I got the notes here. We're doing pretty good. I did want to talk about one thing we did it off air real quick before we go. Kind of cool. Lawrence came out with a new transducer, and I'm like, Bryant, what's it like? And you said you can't even have it. So Lawrence's new transducer, you're not allowed to put on your boat?
I don't know yet. I mean, as of now, we get our rules, and we have restrictions on the types of which transducers we can use. Can use both Humminbird ones, both Garmin ones, both Lowrance ones, but this new Lowrance one, it's technically not on the list right now. And the only one that wasn't on the list before was the saltwater Garmin's. I'm sure it'll get changed. But yeah, it's a really, really cool transducer. Live 360. Everybody's been talking about it, like who's going to do it, who's going to combine 360 with live scope. Well, Lowrance did it with 2 of their new active target. What is it, plus? Is that what they're calling it?
XL,
that's what it is, with 2 of the active target XL. So we'll see if Bass changes the rules where we can use those or not. But yeah,
wasn't it Lowrance that had that set up with the Ghost where you could like make a fake 360? It didn't work too well, did it?
Because you can't use your trolling
motor. I used
Did
it. This was so you needed the 3-in-1 nose cone on there on the Ghost, and I actually I have it on my boat now for this year. And yeah, you do lose function of your trolling motor, but if you're just sitting there still, can't hurt to hit it and just look. So I'll definitely be using it this year. But yeah, the XL will be
Give me
really
a scenario where you're not using your trolling motor.
Well, when we don't have forward facing, it is actually probably going to be pretty nice.
I saw that
That's a very
Easton
good point.
Fothergill is going to swap out forward imaging with a 360 when he gets an event that he can't. Like he's got it set up so his Hummingbird goes back on when the live scope goes off.
That's what I was just talking to Brian about before this, was with this Lowrance thing coming out. Like now it's a 360 but live,
So Bass
which
is
they probably won't
banning-
let you use because it's
Yeah,
two
Bass is
transducers.
banning live sonar. That's the
Right.
rule.
Yeah.
360
So
is
you'll be able
still
to use
the
the
Hummingbird
360 always.
Yeah, that's still not live sonar.
What? Just so that we can spill all your secrets. What do you use, Crone?
I just use
You don't
a
got to
Garmin.
tell.
I did have before that, the Lowrance and on Havasu was one part. Like, where's those cages at? And I would stop, hit that button, and scan, and be like, oh, there's two right over there. And then I'd hit my
No way,
trolling motor
really?
again. So there was some perks sometimes. I go, I know those cages, and I just click it and over it, and then go back to it. There was some perks to it for finding them cages, So
Let's probe Crone for some Montuckian bass fishing secrets.
He's got.
Montuckian.
Yeah, he's a Montuckier.
I mean, I'm assuming that's what makes your bass fishing technique so special.
Montuckian.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, for a big dude, you're kind of a finessey guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah,
easy to
love it.
assume that our size determines how we fish, but
Yeah.
you fish like a little man.
Oh yeah, I know.
You got a
I
punchable
know.
face, bro. Beau.
Oh, boy, you're cruising. You're cruising. Yeah. I've always said to anybody, like, if I'm playing around, it's always a heavy stick, but in a tournament, I'll never, ever do whatever I can to get ahead. So no problem putting a spinner rod in my hand, to catch a fish. Always been that way. And there's times, say on Noxley Reservoir, that's in Montana, our main fishery for like events to get better, and a lot of the events there, and a lot of grass lines and everything, and that drop shot and finesse I've won more on that than I ever have punching or flipping, or you catch a lot of fish that way. But if you want the big ones, put the spinning rod in your hand, and that's helped me, because that got me a lot of wins in Montana when I was learning how to do this stuff.
What do you think your favorite light line presentation was last year? Like what was your go-to through your success last year mostly?
And that free rig was on pretty good.
Don't talk about
looking back. I know, the free rig. Yeah. That free rig was pretty, but it's talked about. I even heard it on BTL the other day too, and all that stuff.
Everyone knows about it.
There. Yeah. But I think, in all reality, it was that was my main one, a lot of dragging techniques, so free rig was probably in there a lot, and then drop shot for a couple events where they're just, that's how it was.
I feel like that free rig's a technique that you can talk about all day, but if you actually don't go out and really learn for yourself how to use it and what it can do, it's you're not going to get anywhere. I feel like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely versatile.
I what was it, the Pro-Am day 2 at the Columbia River? I was fishing out deeper with a drop shot, and the guy on the back of the boat was just, I mean, we're talking like 3-1 for like a solid 30-40 minutes. He was catching the hell out of him, and I finally looked over. I was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, got this little free rig," and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, but it was just like, it was crazy. I'd throw somewhere, and he was a little loose. He was a little loose with his boundaries, right? And it really, he started getting a punchable face, because I would throw, I'd toss one out over to the left, and I'd hang it out, and then I'd reel it back in, toss to the right. He'd toss that damn free rig right where I just dropped my drop shot. And sure enough, like, he'd just smack one. I was like, what is going on? Stupid free rig.
The other thing, though, that Jay does that I would have never thought is he buys every of the goofiest baits on the planet. Like, I'll be like, what the heck is that? Oh, it's the new Kamasupa Huma. Like, what the hell? Why would you buy that? I don't know. Look good. Like he's got a stack of stuff you can't pronounce. Oh, I'm throwing that new, the Kama Sutra bug. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Where'd you get that? You always have like the latest in tackle innovation. I'm like, well, I'm throwing a trick worm.
Most of the
You ever
time,
heard of
I
trick
can't
worm?
pronounce it either. Rickworm? Yeah, you always ask, what is that? I'm like, I honestly can't pronounce it either. I have no idea. But but it is. There's always. I mean, I think that's part of it. Staying on that curve for the unique for pressured fish. So it's
Especially in
a lot of stuff.
California.
Yeah, a lot of stuff you don't use, but that one, and then there you go. There's your check off that one goofy little bait. So and sit down with it, on your truck drive and think about it. I think that's what helps me out is thinking about the 5 different ways it could be versatile. And sometimes it doesn't work, but when it does, it's always awesome because you kind of have that to yourself for at least half the year.
Yeah. Until you tell me and I put it on the podcast.
Yeah. Throw it out there.
What kind of friends you got?
Well, I mean, he could have said drop. He could have just said drop shot and been done with it.
Yeah, he did. What? Last question then. How do you find out about most of this stuff? I know you're not just perusing Tackle Warehouse, getting the most complex spelled stuff. Like, what's your trick for? Because you're not around this big angler base in Montana, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of it might be. Some of it is looking at tackle, some of it's the social media of the new things. And then, at home, I don't watch TV other than YouTube, hunting or fishing. If I do, all of our lives are busy, so it's not a huge part, but I don't know. I mean, something will pop out and I look at it and I go, oh, that's it. That's going to really work. You just get a good feeling for it. And a lot of
I
baits,
feel
I'm
like
like, nope.
that's
But
the
then there's that
sign of
one.
a really confident angler too, who can see a
Yeah.
bait and just already know how, where, why he's going to throw it. And I noticed that with you at Clear Lake, like you have a ton of confidence, and that's impressed me a lot, hanging out with you and Pedro all this whole year. Where did you develop that confidence? Is it just because you can pretty much beat everybody up that's around you, or
No, it took time, like say, but yeah, it does help always to be bigger. You are more confident, wow. Yeah, no, but, you could walk through life going, yeah, they don't want to pick on the redhead usually, but, I think it took time. I mean, like anything, it just, persistent of fishing. And, I fished a lot out of state and, enjoyed that traveling to new lakes and, keeping an open mind and open eyes, not of just around you, just like, um, for instance, even with the free rig, I was in the Toyota Series Championship, and the guy on back, I can't pronounce his name. But he had won 3 opens in the last 2 years, and he's a co-angler on the back, and I said, "Is that your main bait?" He's like, "Oh yeah, for sure." And it's like that right there solves it. If you win 3 opens with that much pressure, and I think he won 2 Toyotas or at least 1. You're just
It's
like,
Gary.
that locks it in. Your
Haraguchi?
confidence,
It was he got Haraguchi. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a guy you don't pay attention to for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was like, wow. Okay. Yeah, but go back to the confidence with just fishing a lot of, I used to not be, but now you just have a mindset of as long as you go hard, throughout the whole tournament, if you don't get into your own head and you leave no matter where you're at, it doesn't bother me going into the events anymore. I know I can fish well enough, and if I don't line it up, it's totally fine. And it it's just remember to have fun. I'm 45 now. I'm not as young, and this is a lot of fun. And just leave it at that. That built my confidence. Just not worrying about it, which is hard to do. All the young bucks, you could see it in their eyes, and it's cool. Enjoy it. I think that's what builds confidence.
That's why I
Like-
travel with you. Yeah,
I love
100%. You like even if you have the worst day ever, and you had a couple of them this year, you're never really
Mhm.
upset. Like when you
No.
were almost leading the championship on Elmore. I think you were in third. And then the next day I saw you and you had one fish. And yeah, you were on a mission, but like I'd have been throwing a fit. So you were just like, yeah, it is what it is. I'd have been burning my boat down. Yeah. That
Yeah.
is what it is. I'll run into them. It's all good.
It's a bummer. I mean, but you're there. You're at the championship, and you're looking at him. And you look over, and I watched Bryant literally catch 5 in front of me. I'm like, oh, what's going on? So he blew
He
me up
found
pretty
water.
good with that, and he was smiling, which he had
Just add water.
and
Found
he
water.
partially had a punchable face that day, but
That's what I was gonna say.
Love it. Love
Wish
it.
you would have.
It was this side that was really punchable.
Yeah.
Good
Oh,
side
I
or
wish you would
bad
have gone
side?
over there. Yeah. I don't want you to go over there and break all his fishing rods because the first phone call will be me, and I'll be like, "Hey, we
Yeah.
can't help you."
Yeah.
Well, half of them
Team
are
Alpha,
mine,
man.
so
All right,
that's awesome. Are we going to go over this schedule?
for
We don't have
crying
much
out
time
loud,
here.
or we run out of
Okay.
time.
So we're
Start.
gonna do a quick version of this. So, as always, right? January, as always. So that's the first Pro-Am. That's called the Western Circuit Pro-Am, and that will be the Lake Shasta Pro-Am. That's January 23rd.
And our hope is that this
Crone and-
podcast is out before.
It will be,
Okay.
right? Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Crone and Boomer, you guys will be there, yeah.
Yep.
Anybody
Hopefully,
else?
no. You guys, I don't know. Give me your guys' quick thoughts on this. Was this about the same time as last year? Is that fair? Was this the
Yeah,
same
real
last year?
close.
Yeah.
I want to
We,
hear Connie's plan, so that I can
Hopefully, it won't be like it was last year.
write. With the wind or with the no check cashing.
Well, both, but the wind and the cancellation of day.
Yep. You go first, Crony. So if you say something really good, I'll just say, "Hey, well, that's what I was going to say."
Well, here's the bad part. I just lost you guys for about 15 seconds. I didn't get the question. I'm sorry.
What do you think about Shasta this year?
Yep. What do you think?
Oh, Shasta. Oh, same as always. It's a love-hate. I mean, absolutely. It's fun. I'm learning it. I'm determined on that place. I mean, I fished there a lot, and I see the weights seem to be down compared to even the last couple of years. But that place is awesome for the reason that if you can link up to one big one, you're almost guaranteed a check, which is a 3.5 to 4 pounder. You're in, seems like, as long as you're consistently catching the others, so it's just, going after Woods or Niapis,
Mhm.
they and trying to, it's tough to figure out. I mean, me and Boomer have tried it, and I mean, we're working on it, and you put your heads together, but it's there. I think there's just a small little piece that I don't think I'm missing it. We just have to hit it, and we'll get it. I've watched it get one right in front of me in like a brookie hole one year, but it doesn't always fish like that. But hopefully we could fall onto it. But I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Now, I think there's quite a few events around it, but Shasta doesn't seem to be too heavily ruined by pressure. I can't
think
remember. Go ahead.
I think what I learned in the last couple of years, because I've only cashed one check at Shasta. It's like I'm a glutton for punishment. Like I really love the place, but part of me is like, you know what? Save the money. It's not part of my swing this year. I don't have to do that. But it's one of my favorite places to not cash checks. But I think pressure. I think because there's so many events between December and when we show up, the locals. I mean, I talked to a local when I was there in November, and he's like, "Oh, I love it when you guys come down." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, you guys show up, and this place does adjust to pressure, right? You can always catch fish on the points, and you can always do this or that, but it starts to become kind of maybe the pathway to success gets a little bit more narrow, and it's that being there every week that kind of identifies that. And those guys, they work their butts off, and they're excellent fishermen. The Redding fishermen are hard to beat, right? So I think when we come down there, they're kind of a little bit ahead. So hopefully with the water coming up really fast this year, I know there's a lot of wood in the water. Spending a little bit more time there this last year, I kind of hope it's an even playing field. Bryant, you could answer this though. If the water comes up really fast, does that kind of change the thing? Is that going to get rid of some of that kind of that local domination that, so is it going to change it enough, or is it still going to fish that way?
It evens the playing field a little bit. Yeah, if it's been consistent, those fish don't really move. But when you get a big weather event like we've had, those fish are going to be on the move, and they've been on the move for probably the past month. So it'll be a little more even playing field this time when everybody comes down.
Dirty for the viewers, and I have my notepad out. Dirty water fish shallow.
Sure.
Excellent answer.
Put that in your notes.
Ding dong.
Excellent.
I did. Drew a picture of a
Excellent
jerk.
answer.
I didn't.
All right, we're going to keep moving
Do it.
because we got a lot of events to cover. So, coming out of the Western Swing first event, we go right into stop one of the BAM Pro Tour, which is March 20th through 22nd of Lake Havasu. Now, I'm personally excited because there's going to be a lot of woo girls out.
Going through the
Beau's
London
married.
Canal back and forth.
Yeah, Ty
Back and
Manarola
forth.
actually told me directly that he was going to be checking the London Canal 2 to 3 times a day for big fish. But really, though, so I know, Crone, I know for a fact you've been there around this time of year. How disturbed are we going to be by the party crowd? Because I think it pretty much is like the big spring break weekend.
Yeah. If the forecast is nice, I honestly hope we kind of have a overcast, cooler, cold front that comes through, because I think it could be. I hope not, but it could be a little overwhelming. I mean, I've been there I've never been there at that time. I've fished a Toyota right before, the real spring break started, but that place can get real. Like, we might be really jaw dropped. I hope not, but it's spring break, Havasu, one of the most fun outdoors. I've fished there quite a bit, and I genuinely love that place. But I honestly myself, would not fish during spring break if I didn't have to. But it'll be fun no matter what. I mean, but you might have to move further away from the general area to not have so much commotion. And I think massive amount of boats and people playing can, the fish might lock up until you might have head down towards the Bill Williams or something like that, or even upriver. You just be cautious and safe. I mean, there's sandbars and people having fun, so just be on your toes there. Do not, it won't be, it's there's good policing there, but just don't be as lackadaisical as you can be on other lakes. Be on always looking around before you run, always. But it'll fish good, I guarantee you that. We'll catch it's fun. I think it'll be a blast. There'll be fish on beds, post spawn a little bit, and for sure still fish on beds. So
I will tell you, if there's any Super 60 anglers listening to this and you don't have arrangements set up yet, I've been told by a couple guys who have attempted that hotels are already very scarce. I guess RV spots are pretty much not available, and hotels and Airbnbs are starting to fill up pretty fast. So I wouldn't be messing around if I was you. So, all right. So I got to go back here to the Pro-Am side because I think the next event will be another Pro-Am event, if I'm not mistaken here. Yes. So May 1st, back at the Cal Delta. Are you fishing that one, Bryant?
Probably not.
Okay.
You can speak to May 1st, though. It's all beds, right?
Sure.
I know that I'm the one that questions the purpose of having you on this podcast more than anybody else.
I'm starting to go with you right now.
Yeah.
May is one of my favorite months to be on the Delta. You can do absolutely anything. You can go fish for bedfish, you can throw a spinning rod, you can throw frog, you can flip, you can wind, swim bait. It's top water. It's endless. It's a really, really cool time of year. And it's a really fun time of year because you're gonna get fish in all three stages. You'll get fish. There'll still be pre-spawn fish. There'll be spawning fish, and there'll be, depending on the weather, throughout the next couple months, a lot of post-spawn fish. So really wide open. It's always a tournament. Like when I was fishing a lot out here that I'd look forward to was the FLW at the Delta in May. That was always one of my favorite ones. So great event, and it's going to be fun.
Sweet.
Yeah, good recovery.
Yeah, he did okay. And then we head up to our first Northwest Swing event. So, and that would be Moses Lake, end of May.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to pull up last year's Northwest Bass tournament. I don't know if I can find the results, but Jake, you can go ahead to speak on what kind of slugfest that's going to look like.
Sure. So
Nailed it.
I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best Bryant impersonation. Sure.
Killing me.
Nixon's always throws at the first weekend of May a customer appreciation derby. They give out 10 grand. It was always the biggest tournament for the longest time because it's just cash. It's always a bloodbath. The first time they did it was like 33, 34 pounds. By the time we get there, you'll probably have a little bit more post-spawn stuff, so the weights will probably go down, but then there's just a lot of really big fish in there. And I think because it's a 5 fish limit, and I still think it's going to take a lot of weight. The cool thing about Moses is that it's a pretty flat lake. So a lot of people like to fish the bank lines, but you can, in a lot of the lake, you're not in more than 10, 15 feet deep. And it's, for some reason, it's just a fish factory. It's a great walleye fishery. It just has a lot of, it's a really cool lake. I think it'll be a really good one to start our Western swing. I think it's going to be super competitive. I think you're going to get the guys that might only do one event. They're going to show up to that event. Everybody loves Moses. It's going to be really hard for the guys that are trying to qualify for the Pro Tour or the championship. You're going to want to do your homework, and you're going to want to be prepared. And you might fish all day with one bite. You better keep your head in it because you need 5 bites. You're going to want to. That's going to be, in my opinion, that's going to be the tougher tournament to do well in because it's going to be stacked. Every Pro Tour angler in the Northwest, I'm sure, will fish that one just because it's a fun lake. And your chance to catch it a big one is pretty calm. It's a good place.
And what species of fish are in that lake?
Smallmouth and mega largemouth.
Now, there should be some smallmouth in spawn about that time.
Yeah, I think it'll be on the tail end. So they keep that lake 3 feet low, but by some agreement have to have it at full pool and on May 1st. And so it literally, if you go to pre-practice, will be 3 feet low. And literally 2 days before that tournament in May 2nd or whatever, the very first weekend of May that Nixon's does their appreciation, they'll fill it up. They put 3 feet of water in it. So the nice thing is it was always really hard to practice for that tournament because the water was low and then they'd have 2 weeks of off limits and you'd show up and the water's 3 feet higher. We get to go there when it fills up. I think that there's a group of fish that spawn when the water comes back up. So I think there'll be waves of that.
So
Once again,
and this
educated guess.
Right. Again, beginning of May. So last year, the Nixon's Marine tournament, if you wanted to be in the top 22, you needed over 20 pounds on the first day. So I think it'll hold.
Yeah.
I've seen some late May tournaments that look just like that.
A good location to have a tournament too. Moses Lake School area. What's the name of the pizza place?
We're going to have to speed run the rest of these.
Oh.
All right, go.
Okay. So here we go, speed run. Jake talked too much. I'm going to go off the top of my head here. So from there, we get to go to the Snake River for the next Pro Tour.
Potholes Pro-Am.
That's not before the Snake River, I don't think.
You guys are speed running nothing.
Okay.
It's a week before. I got the schedule right here.
But then you can lead the conversation, speedrunner.
Potholes. Sure. Potholes is cool. Give me 5 words to describe potholes.
How about Jason? Jason, give us 5 words to describe.
First time there, he made top 10.
I was saving Jason for Brownlee. I wanted to get some of his Brownlee juice.
No. This is what we're doing. Jason is giving us 5 words for every event for the rest of it. Okay? So potholes, 5 words.
3 to 5.
Okay. Well, one of my words is last time I was at potholes. One of them, Boomer remembers, was devastating. I
Mhm.
said that multiple.
That's
Told
one.
him one time
Yep.
I was at the boat ramp and I was power pulled down. He's like, what's going on?" I said, "I'm devastated. I couldn't find fish. You know how it is." So I was in that. But potholes is, I don't know, uh, so unique and so devastating. Sanely
Uniquely
unique with the
devastating.
sand dune. Yeah, uniquely devastating. There, I mean, it could be in the abyss, and then you find them. So I'm not good with counting. I'm from Montana. I grew up chewing on asphalt as a business. It would be, yeah, it's awesome, man. And plus all the jungle of trees in the background. So it's one of a kind. I put it that way too. One of a kind lake.
One of a kind. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So next up is the second stop of the Pro Tour at Brownlee Reservoir, which is the Snake River. I don't know, Crony, if you've ever been there.
Yeah, I've only heard. I
Yeah.
haven't been there, and I've heard that the water fluctuates a ton, and
Mm-hmm.
I have not been there, and I haven't looked at it at one other than this morning. I looked at the schedule and looked at it on the map. Said, okay, it's a long, narrow, and I think a lot of it looks the same. So I
Good
don't have much
catfishing.
input on that. Yeah, yeah.
Real good catfishing.
I've heard things
They got any
about it.
catfish
So
derbies?
They do, actually. One of the biggest on the West Coast.
Yep.
Big catfishing. All right, we're gonna keep pushing. Following
Columbia.
the Brownlee, we got River Streak. So we got River. So you've been both to the upper pool and the Boardman pool now, Crone. Why don't you tell us the difference between those two pools in your opinion?
from what I know, the last time I had fished the upper pools was probably 8-9 years ago. So it's changed a lot, I think. But the upper pool is what I only fished before. But as for what I know, is better fish, less quantity, lower pool. I mean, that was this year, and I mean, it was awesome. I mean, it just wore out hands, fingers, baits, everything. I mean, it was a little bit trickier to figure out for a second, but when I did find it, I caught 35 fish in one spot without moving, and it put me in the top 10 for, so it has the advantages of that place. You can land on them and have a heck of a fun day. Tons of fish. So
Last but not least, both events, Don Pedro, the last West Pro-Am and the last Pro Tour. In the fall. I don't know. Have you ever fished it in the fall? Anybody?
Grinders. Ding Dong has.
no,
I have not. I've never been there in the fall.
That's a grinder kind time of year, don't you think? Kind of tough.
Not with spotted bass. You'll catch a
Really?
bunch of fish. Catching keepers might be a little difficult. Catching size will be tough for sure. There'll be a bunch of guys who weigh in under 10 pounds, I would assume, but catch 20 fish. So you're going to have to, in my mind, for the Super 60, for sure, you're going to have to pick your poison on, do I need to focus on keepers or am I just going for weight? Because it's two totally different deals, I would assume. But it's a fun, like all the motherlode lakes fish so well in the fall. So those will both be a lot of fun.
I do want to talk about one thing. I pay attention to like patterns in the sport. The northern swing will have two really good largemouth lakes. So largemouth fishermen, right? Potholes and Moses. Largemouth fishermen are going to have kind of like it's going to be good. It's going to be good for them. If you want a largemouth fish of the river, irregardless, doesn't matter. The small, it's great. But if you're a good largemouth fisherman, the swing works a little bit in your favor. The west swing, it's Shasta and Pedro. Spotted bass fishermen, I feel like, are going to have a little bit of a leg up, and then the anomaly would be the delta, right? So
It's a good
there's
schedule.
guys,
Good mix.
there's guys that are really good spotted bass fishermen. Like they seem to. Randy Pearson is always on them on the spot bass. So it's a good schedule for a guy like him. Guys like him.
Okay, so I've got one question before we call this off, and I want all three of your answers. Is the Pro-Am or the Pro Tour schedule overall better?
Pro Tour, I like the diversity. I think pro anglers should have to go places that they're not used to and comfortable with. I think Brownlee is awesome. I think that's a great I think there's a lot of consistency going to the same bodies of water. I think throwing a rock into the freaking puddle a little bit, muddy in the water, I think is a cool thing for top level anglers. They should have to figure that out on the fly.
Crony?
I think, from my point of view, I had so much fun last year that, I really don't look at it as a better or not. It's just going to be a ton of fun. I mean, it's hard for me to naysay it.
Yeah, you're good.
Back.
But I got the gist of it. And that's why I travel with you. You don't really care where we go. You're just happy that you get to
As long as there's fish to catch and faces to punch, you're good, man.
That's
You're
it.
good. Let's go. All right. Bryant, you got 2 cents on this or what?
I like I mean, I'm not fishing the Pro-Am schedule, so it doesn't really matter. I'm with both of those guys. It's gonna be fun, and I like going to new places, so I like the Brownlee. I haven't been to Havasu in a while, so that'll be a new one, pretty much. Just overall solid schedule, good diversity. You're gonna have some really, really high level anglers make the championships with this, or the championship with this schedule, because it's not gonna be a one lake wonder or one species wonder. You're gonna have to be pretty versatile.
Me, Beau.
Yeah.
What's your answer, Beau?
I'm super excited for the Northwest Swing.
I'm just excited for the year to start. But
I am too. I'm just ready to go fishing. I feel the same way you guys do for the most part. It is nice, like travel wise. I mean, I did just start a new business, so I got a lot of workload going on there. So it's nice that most of our events are up here this year.
Dope.
We're only leaving the Northwest twice, so that's kind of cool. But I think it's gonna be great.
So I propose a good close to this. Let's let Bryant leave and then talk about him behind his back while he's gone.
As long as I don't have
Ding,
to hear your
ding.
voice, I'm in.
Ding ding.
I mean, if you want to pack up and leave, we don't need you.
Wow.
So you
See you,
I
buddy.
need you, Bryant.
You're
All right,
gonna talk-
boys.
You better not talk about me behind my back. I'm gonna have
I'll
to
only
edit
say
this.
nice
I'm just
things.
gonna edit you out the whole time.
Damn it. Good call.
I hold the
That was
power.
quick. Yeah. You're normally not that
He
quick.
wins.
That was a good one.
Nope.
I
he
hold the
wins.
power. I can
Thanks,
make your
Jason
face.
Crone.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Jason.
I really appreciate you guys. It was fun, man.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
you're the man.
Can't wait to hang with you, bud.
You should
All right,
follow
we'll
Jason
see ya.
Crone's social media pages, even though he doesn't put anything on there except for like
But you can
trophy
see him
class
flying
elk.
planes.
Yeah, he's flying.
Yep.
He's a pilot. He's
Yeah,
a
by the way, he
world-class elk
flies
hunter.
planes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
flies planes. This is what he does in his spare time. Then runs a business and raises family. I mean, like,
I told myself this year I'm going to try to post more stuff. I need to. I absolutely need to. Without, it's hard as you get older for me to post stuff because you feel like you're bragging, which is and it's not at all. So I just need to a little bit more, show the joys in life, work hard, play hard, and I guess
I
show
like it.
cool pictures. So
The
Yeah.
Montuckian Sasquatch.
the Montuckian Sasquatch.
All right, boys.
Thank you. Thank
right.
you, everybody. It was awesome.
Thank you.
see ya.
See you, boys.
Brent.
So you-
Thanks for listening to the Alpha BassCast. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to subscribe, follow, and rate us. We'll see you next time.